Okay, so in this question, we're going to determine three different things for each question. First is the quadrant of the principal angle. Second is the related acute angle, which is referred to as beta. And then the sine of the ratio, and we're going to do it for these 6 examples right over here. Okay, so if I start off with the first example, sine 3 pi over 4. The first thing we want to determine is the quadrant of the principal angle, or where this is, and that's going to be extremely important. This angle right here is 3 pi over 4. We want to draw this in basically our cast system. So remember, this is C A S T, and then this is quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, and then quadrant number 4. So remember that half of a circle has a distance of pi, and one full circle is 2 pi. We always start right here at this point and we go around in this direction for the positive, that direction for the negative. Now if you want to figure out where 3 pi over 4 is, the easy way to do it is to look at the denominator. So 4, you want to split this half of the circle into 4 pieces. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, which means 3 pi over 4 is 1, 2, 3. It's going to be right over there. So basically an entire circle would be 8 pieces with a denominator of 4. Always depends on your denominator. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3 pieces. You always draw your triangle with the horizontal. So determine the quadrant of the principal angle. Basically this is in quadrant number 2. Okay, next we want to find the related acute angle, which is this small angle right over there. So if I want to find beta, this small angle is basically the whole angle, which is pi minus the small angle. So pi minus, basically I know that this angle right there is 3 pi over 4. So beta is pi minus 3 pi over 4, which is just pi over 4. And then the third thing is to find the sine of the ratio. So if you want to find the sine of the ratio, you're always looking at CAST. Now basically this is sine and this is an S, so it means sine is positive in this quadrant. Basically sine is positive in these 2 quadrants, sine is negative in those 2. So in this case it will be positive. Okay, let's try a couple more examples. So that was A. We can go to B, which is cos 5 pi over 3. So again, I'm going to start with my cast rule, C-A-S-T. My denominator here is 3, which means I'm going to split one whole thing with 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means 5 pi over 3 is in this quadrant. Okay, I need to find my quadrant first, and this quadrant down here is quadrant number 4. The related acute angle, so I know that one full circle is 2 pi, and I know that from here till here is 5 pi over 3. So the related acute angle is 2 pi minus 5 pi over 3, which is just pi over 3. And last, I want to determine the sine of the ratio. So this is a cos equation, and if I look over here, C cos is positive in this quadrant and this one, so basically it's going to be positive again. Let's try part C. Okay, I have tan 4 pi over 3. I'm going to start with my cast. So 4 pi over 3, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in this quadrant right here. I know that this full angle is 4 pi over 3. the quadrant of the principal angle, that's quadrant number 3 right there. The related acute angle beta. So if I want to get this small angle here, I know that it's the whole big angle, which is 4 pi over 3, minus this angle here, which is just pi. So my related acute angle is pi over 3. And this one is a tan equation. T is positive in this quadrant. So again, I have positive. Let's try the next 3 questions. So sec 5 pi over 6. So just one thing to note for these questions, sec is just 1 over cos. So sec follows pretty much the same rules as cos. Okay, my denominator is 6 over there. So I know it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 pi over 6 is right over here. I know this full angle is 5 pi over 6, which means this tiny angle over here is pi minus 5 pi over 6, which is pi over 6. So that's what beta is. My related acute angle, my quadrant, that is quadrant 2 right there. And then if I want to find the sine, sec is the same as cos. And if I look at this over here, cos is positive in these two quadrants, A and C, which means cos is negative in these two. So my solution for the sine here of the ratio is negative. Cos 2 pi over 3 as the next one. So 2 pi over 3, if the denominator is 3, it's 1, 2, 3 right there. So 2 pi over 3 is right there. Now that angle is 2 pi over 3. If I look at this, it's quadrant number 2. My related acute angle beta is pi minus 2 pi over 3, which is just pi over 3. And then I know that cos is also negative in this quadrant, only sine is positive right there. And last one, f cot 7 pi over 4. So cot is just 1 over tan, so follows the same rules as tan. My denominator is 4, it means I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 pi over 4 is right over there. Now that whole angle is 7 pi over 4. I cast. Basically it's going to be in quadrant number 4. My beta is 2 pi, basically this tiny angle, 2 pi minus 7 pi over 4, which is just pi over 4. And this quadrant right here, only cos is positive. We have cot in the equation, which is the same as tan, so that's going to be a negative ratio.